I never imagined my quiet recovery period would turn into a full-blown neighborhood showdown. But sometimes, the people who claim to protect the community are the ones who cause the most damage. My name is Ethan Miller, and for the last 4 years, I've lived in a peaceful suburban neighborhood called Cedar Ridge Estates, just outside Columbus, Ohio. It's the kind of place where lawns are trimmed like carpets, mailboxes line up perfectly, and every house looks like it came from the same catalog. I knew there was an HOA when I moved in. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either. As long as I followed basic rules, no loud parties, no broken fences, I stayed out of trouble. That all changed after my surgery. 3 months ago, I slipped on a wet kitchen floor and seriously injured my lower back. The pain was unbearable. An MRI confirmed a spinal injury that required surgery and weeks of careful recovery. Walking was hard. Standing too long was impossible. That's when my doctor arranged for in-home medical care. 3 times a week, a licensed visiting nurse came to help with wound care and physical therapy. Her name was Emily Carter, professional, calm, and incredibly kind. She parked in my driveway, did her job, and left quietly. No drama, no noise. At least, not until Karen Whitfield noticed. Karen Whitfield was the HOA president of Cedar Ridge Estates. Mid-50s. Perfect posture. Always dressed like she was heading to a boardroom meeting instead of a sidewalk confrontation. Her hair never moved. Her smile never reached her eyes. Around the neighborhood, people called her the rule book. The first confrontation happened on a Wednesday afternoon. Emily was helping me stretch when the doorbell rang. Once, twice, then repeatedly. I opened the door slowly, leaning on my walker, and there she was. Karen, clipboard in hand. "There's an unauthorized vehicle in your driveway," she said sharply, skipping any greeting. "That's my nurse," I replied. "She's providing medical care." Karen tilted her head and glanced toward the car. It has a company logo. That makes it commercial. Commercial vehicles are not permitted during daytime hours. I tried to stay calm. She's not delivering packages. She's treating a post-surgery patient. Karen's lips tightened. Rules don't bend for personal situations. Emily came to the doorway and politely explained who she was and why she was there. Karen didn't care. "If the vehicle isn't moved immediately," she said, "I'll issue a fine and request a tow." I assured Emily she was legally allowed to be there. We went back inside. 20 minutes later, I heard the sound that made my stomach drop. A tow truck. I rushed outside as fast as my body allowed. The driver was already preparing to hook Emily's car. I told him to stop and handed him a printed copy of the HOA bylaws, one I had checked weeks earlier. There it was. Clear as day. Medical professionals providing in-home care were exempt. The driver unhooked the car and left. Karen stood there furious, her face tight with disbelief. "This isn't over," she snapped before storming off. She was right. 2 days later, Karen escalated. She waited outside my house during Emily's next visit, timing the session like a referee with a stopwatch. When 4 to 5 minutes passed, she knocked loudly and announced Emily had 5 minutes left or the car would be towed. I told Karen she was interfering with prescribed medical treatment. She laughed. "I'm enforcing policy." Emily documented everything. Every warning. Every threat. Every interruption. The 3rd visit was worse. Karen arrived with 2 HOA board members and physically blocked Emily from reaching my door. "This is HOA property," Karen declared, even though she was standing on my private walkway. Emily calmly asked her to move. Karen didn't. She pushed her. That's when I called 911. I told the dispatcher exactly what was happening, a healthcare worker being physically obstructed while providing medical care. Emily recorded the incident. The police arrived within minutes. Karen tried to argue, tried to explain, tried to use her title as a shield. It didn't work. The officers reviewed the video. They heard the statements. They saw the shove. Karen Whitfield was arrested on the spot for assault and interference with medical care. The sound of handcuffs clicking shut was something I'll never forget. The aftermath came quickly. A restraining order was issued. Karen was removed as HOA president in an emergency meeting. Neighbors who had once been afraid to speak finally told their stories. And Emily? She continued treating me peacefully, professionally, without interruption. Today, my back is healing. But what stays with me most isn't the pain or the recovery. It's the reminder that authority without empathy is dangerous, and that even the loudest bullies fall silent when the law shows up. Thank you for watching Classic Stories. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories that remind us how powerful compassion truly is.